Hi everyone. Today we are talking about I guess, reason that we hear for why people choose to not get involved in multi-level marketing or network marketing companies. And what we hear a lot is, well, I've tried network marketing and it's just not for me. And what's really behind that sometimes could be disappointment. And if that's been your experience, then we're sorry that that has been your experience. We hope that we're going to unpack this in a way that you can find a way to learn from what you've experienced and be able to move forward, because typically the factors that go into that I've tried network marketing and it's not for me, they typically range from expectations. What were your expectations going in and why did that not happen? They range from experience, and they can even range from, partnership. Was it with the right sponsor, support, community? Was it with the right company, product, program? There's just a lot of factors that can go into it, which with all of those variables, that means that it's great because there's a lot of different things that can change, and it doesn't have to be the same outcome every time over and over again. So Janine, let's just dive right into it. Talk a little bit about this. I know you've heard this. I'm sure you've heard this.
I hear it all the time and it drives me crazy because really when people say they've tried network marketing and it's not for me, I would really like to ask, what is it that you tried? What exactly was the experience? Because most of the time what happens when people get into network marketing is that instead of really treating it like a serious endeavor, starting a business, it's usually a situation where I'm in something, I'm excited about it. I call you, you're my friend. I go, come on, Laura, let's do this together. And we are both excited about it that day. And we decide we're going to do this together. And we don't even really know what we're doing. It's the blind leading the blind. It's kind of, we don't even know what we've gotten into. I think people kind of get excited in the very beginning and they think they'll try it, but they don't really consider the fact that this is a serious endeavor. I mean, it's like if we look at network marketing as a marriage. I mean, how important is the partner that you get? What if you just grabbed the first person you saw off the street and said, hey, let's get married, and then it didn't work? I mean, it wouldn't be that much of a shock. But that is exactly how random it is usually when people get into network marketing. And I know that there's a lot of people that think they really have tried it. And yet I really think that most of the time they've maybe gone to a meeting, they maybe made a snap decision that day, but even if you ask them, what was that experience like? How much effort did you put into it? If you had been hired for a job, if this had been a job and somebody had hired you to do it, would you have gotten paid? How much would you have made? Because did you really show up? Did you really treat it as seriously as you should have?
Yes, yes, I agree with you. It is so easy to get into. I mean, it really is like a virtual business, like a business in a box. And I just want everyone to think for a moment, how much has technology changed in the last 10 years? I mean, just think about it. I mean, even what we're doing here right now, I mean, even podcasts, even, Zoom calls. And I mean, technology is growing at such a fast pace. And I want to encourage you that the way you may have tried to do business before may not be the way that you could do business in the future. So I just want to encourage you to keep an open mind about this, the concept. The concept is you fall in love with a product, you're a raving fan of a product, and then you are so happy about this product that you're sharing it with other people, the same way that you share a good book, a recipe, a movie, any of those things. And you are getting paid for it, just like an affiliate that you would on anything that's out there in an affiliate link. And you are training others on how they can refer other people, and you're getting like a leadership compensation for that as well. That is the concept of what we're doing here. So the concept doesn't necessarily mean that that doesn't work for you. It's one of these other factors. I often said, If you work the program will work. If you work the program works. But a lot of people, for a variety of different reasons, give up on working the program. They either realize how much they don't know, and then they're not interested, or they're just misaligned, like you talked about, picking the right partner and being so capricious about it just because you're enthusiastic about something. And look, that's great. I think we've all done that. I've done that. I mean, my first experience with a network marketing company, I just loved the products and how they made me feel. And I wanted to be able to get them for free. And I respected the person that introduced me. And I thought it would be fun to do together. And it was those things. But that wasn't my, I didn't go into it with an expectation that it was going to pay my mortgage. And it didn't pay my mortgage. I didn't put the time and effort in for that. So just be able to call it what it is. That just because that one experience you had, or even 2 or 3 experiences you may have had, does not mean that you're limited. And that's the one thing I want to encourage everyone is don't allow a limiting belief to be put on what is possible for you just because of an isolated experience. So what else?
I think that, again, there is a tendency to lump all companies together. So when people say I've tried network marketing, they've had this one experience and they're lumping all of the companies that are out there together. And they all look very different. They all are maybe not things that I would be excited about, somebody else might be excited about. And I know I had this situation with someone that after reading Does This Shoe Fit, she came back to me and told me that, oh my gosh, she was somebody who basically was saying, I tried network marketing, it doesn't work for me. And after reading the book, she came back and said, oh my gosh, I understand. I was in a company, I went to a meeting with my husband. My husband kind of drugged me to this meeting, and he kind of, the numbers and everything made sense to him. So he said, let's do this. And she got involved with him, and it was something that was not an easy product to get excited about for most women. It was more of a service kind of product. And she never really was fully engaged emotionally. She never was excited about it. And, I think that to her husband, it made sense because financially there's a lot of things about this once people start really researching it that makes sense financially. But that experience left her walking away saying, I've tried network marketing, it wasn't for me. And everything about that scenario was not a good experience. I totally understood why she feels like network marketing is not for her. So I think it's just really, really important that's why I think it's so important that people understand network marketing first, and then choose a company that they want to be a brand ambassador for, that they would enthusiastically talk about whether they were being paid for or not. But that is just not always the way it happens. But the most important thing to realize is that all network marketing companies are not the same.
Right. They are not the same. And that segues great into, there's a distinction between a direct selling company. A direct selling company is one where the compensation plan is designed where you're earning more compensation for your direct sales of your personal customers. So while you are well compensated for that transaction, it's very dependent on your personal activity and you showing up. Network marketing is a little bit more of a system where you are leveraging a network of people that are like-minded and are also referring people. And so that leverages your time because you don't have to personally show up all the time. Somebody else can be referring people. And because of the effort that you put forward in starting and in helping and in working with that person and leading that initiative, then you're able to be compensated. So again, the skill set is different there too. When you're in direct selling, it's really focused on product knowledge and on selling. And when you're building in network marketing, look, we are all selling, and we are all selling, by the way, every day. So, you know, whether you're selling an idea to your husband that you want new cabinets, or whether you're selling an idea to your kids that they need to eat their vegetables, we are all in sales in one form or another. So I don't consider selling a bad word. I'm not ashamed that I'm in selling, but it's just a different skill set when you're in a company where the compensation structure is more rewarding, not just for what you do, but what you start and what you duplicate. That's just a different skill set. And that's why community and sponsor who you're working with, what your team has going on, and what they're doing to support you becomes so critical and so important.
Yes. And I just took myself off video because my connection is great. But you know, I think the thing with direct sales is that it's really one and done. And with network marketing, you're building a network of consumers. So you're being paid on the people that are starting to use the product and are going to be using it over and over again. And with direct sales, a lot of times people will be looking at a product where it's really one and done. You buy the product and you don't need to replace that product. And that's what happens a lot of times with direct sales. You're selling somebody that product, but you're not really creating a consumer, a customer that is going to be using, you know, reusing, reordering that product over and over again. The other thing I think that comes up are having the right expectations going in. And I think that's a really important one because most of the people coming into network marketing are accustomed to having a traditional job. And when we have a traditional 9-to-5 job, we're used to committing to, you know, work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we trade our time for money. We agree to show up and do our job, and we're going to receive a paycheck. When we get into network marketing, people that come into it with that kind of expectation are going to be really disappointed because this is not that situation. This is not a situation where if I put in 8 hours initially, I'm going to get paid for 8 hours. I'm not. I'm probably going to put in a lot of effort in the very beginning and not see the rewards of that effort for a while. It's really, it's more like people that are used to a commission kind of basis where, you know, a lot of times there's a pipeline and you put, and people that have been in sales have been maybe a realtor or in that kind of a profession that is used to putting in the time and understanding that there's a delayed gratification that's going to occur for getting paid. But if people don't come in to network marketing with that same mindset and those same expectations, they're going to be really disappointed. And after spending a lot of time, they're going to think, I didn't make any money. I put in all these hours and I didn't make any money. The challenge is that they didn't stick around to be paid for their efforts because they're going to be paid for their efforts in down the road a little bit.
It's so true. I mean, it reminds me of an analogy I use all the time. It's about gardening, that you are planting seeds and you're planting seeds and you're planting seeds. And it's really hard to know when you're taking care of a garden, you're watering it, the sun is shining, you're pulling weeds out of it. It can be very frustrating. It develops patience in you because you don't know when is it really going to grow and which seeds are going to grow and am I ever going to see anything green coming out of the earth or is this ever going to happen? And if you were so impatient that you dug it up and planted it somewhere else, you would not get a better result. So it is a lesson in patience, as well as the partnership that we talked about too. And I love your talking about the difference of employee. It is not the same as an employee. If you want to make money and that's all you care about is I just want to work and make money. I'm not interested in what interests me, and I think what interests you and others in this business is that it's like an annuity. We are putting our time and effort in as a deposit on things that we're going to get paid for in the future. And we're okay with that because we know that that's going to bring it about. Just like gardening, you're planting those seeds and you're watering them and taking the weeds out because you know something is going to grow. You just don't know exactly when and which of the seeds are going to be the ones that take off. But if you stop, then you for sure would not have it happen. I find that when it comes to expectations, you know, what we look for, we find. You know, what we look for, we find. And this is with people, this is with circumstances. You know, if you feel that a dark cloud is always following you around, then sure enough, things are going to happen in your life that prove positive to you that a dark cloud is always following you around. If you believe that the world is good and kind and that you can be good and kind, then you're going to attract good and kind, and you're going to see that in other people. And that's the same thing with this. You know, if you go into it thinking, I'm not really sure this is going to work for me, it's probably not going to work for you. And I just would encourage everyone that to just not have that limiting belief, to be open-minded to what if it did? What if it would work? What if there was another one? What if there was one more that was better suited for you? And what do you have to lose? The average cost to join is $82. And in this industry, usually that's completely refundable. And so you've got a low cost to join and a low amount to lose. Was there something you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I just wanted to circle back around to when you were talking about, well, we were talking about network marketing being more working for the future. The truth is, if people are looking for right now money, then a direct sales company might be the better fit for them. And again, that's why it's important to know the difference between direct sales and network marketing, which always get lumped together because they're all part of the Direct Selling Association. But it is possible to make right now money with this business. And that's so that's why it's so important to understand which company you're joining. What is the activity that they are going to reward you for? Is it primarily selling things right now? And direct sales can be a great means of, to me, direct sales is more like having a part-time job, because it's you are basically adding your own small business, and you can do that on the side, and you can sell products, and you can make right now money on those products that you sell. But that is a different scenario typically than people that are looking at building a network marketing company, which is going to be more the network of consumers and people that are going to keep reordering every month, and that is going to create the more long-term ongoing income. I just wanted to clarify that there is the opportunity to make immediate income, but it's why it's so important to understand which company you're joining when you start.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to give a ringing endorsement for Does the Shoe Fit? That book that you wrote about Does the Shoe Fit, and factors to look for in evaluating, like many of us would do for a partner, of, you know, who are we looking for as a spouse or to date, or for a partner, you might have a checklist in mind because you've been through some things, and that usually the learning that you had has brought you to a place. It's, you know, I often tell my kids, half of learning what you want is learning what you don't want. And that experience that you've had is something to be thankful for. It's an education without a price. It's priceless. Whatever that experience that you've had that you bring to this future and this next situation, choose to learn from it. It will make you better, and it will help you make better decisions about, here's what I didn't like and what I don't want, and here's what I do want. And some of the things that you probably are going to have on that do want list could be things such as making sure it's a product you're crazy about. Making sure that you've got a supportive team and community, understanding what does it take in that company, in that plan, to achieve what it is that you want. And what it is you want varies. I mean, it doesn't, you don't have to make what you want be the same as what you heard somebody else say. You know, what you want could be $200 or $300, or it could be to get your product for free, or it could be $1,000, or it could be $10,000 a month. It has to be unique to you. It doesn't have to be what you heard somebody else say. But your team that you're with can help show you how that is. And timing can be an important factor too about your decision making. But just use the experience that you've had to bring you into a place of learning and moving forward. And we hope that this encourages you to give it another go. Follow up with that friend that's been reaching out to you about whatever they're excited about and they're interested in. Evaluate it, and evaluate it with your list in mind of what you don't want and what you do want, and tell them that so that they can help you figure out whether it's a good fit or not.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you.